So for this video, I'm going to show you how to make a blouse with a lot of rest over fabric pieces. So here you can see them, just lots of little bits, and I've cut them all so they have the same width, and then I attach them to each other, stitch them together. They can be different in length, but just the same width. And then I end up with these long pieces of fabric bands, and then I stitch them together to make a big piece of fabric, and then basically that's what I'm going to cut and make it from. Hello! What was that? So I'm going to make my own fabric of little remnant bits, and that's always something fun to do. So you can see here I've already started, and this is just a lot of viscose and some chiffon and some different fabrics, no cottons, no heavy fabrics, and then I'm just using a bit of leftovers that I have to create these patches. So it's just kind of a patchworky design, very simple, very easy. And I just need to put that last little bit on. So I'm just I found these little bits in my drawer that I'm trying to make kind of rectangular. Not perfect, it doesn't have to be. Then I've got this big piece that I'm going to put on the bottom, but I just need to have some more fabric in the two ends. So just putting this on here, and then I'm going to take it through my serger. And the serger is great because it sews and cuts at the same time. Like so. And I'm going to do this on the other side as well. And it doesn't need to be quite this long, so I'm just going to make it a bit shorter and cut off these ends. Also, this is a bit unaligned, so just getting rid of that. And then I'm going to attach it to the bottom of this. Let's hope it fits. So I'm placing the fabric front to front. The two edges there aligned, like so. The measuring skills are insane. Yes, there we go. So now I've made a piece of fabric with some different remnants that I had, and you can see that this could turn into several different things. If it's folded up like this, it could be something with this and this size, and if it's folded up and turned this way, you can almost turn it into a dress. So it's just about wondering what to do. So I've decided to use it on the long angle. So I'm going to make something that has longish sleeves and a shorter body. So I'm just folding it up, and I kind of want to fold it out with the outside facing, the inside facing out. That's what it's like. And as you can see here, I folded it twice. So trying to fold it like straight, it is a little bit difficult because some of these squares aren't the same size. So it kind of wants to fold and twist and turn a bit, but this is okay. So you can see here, there's a fold here, there's a fold there. So there is a double fold. So somewhere up here that needs to be the neck opening. And you can always use top you already have, something that's also made of woven material to mark from. And you can see here, if I place it like this, then I'll get a short body, but I can get some longer sleeves. And that's actually what I would like to try to do, even though this body, it might be a little bit on the short side, but then I'll do something to the bottom if it turns out to be too short for me. So I'm simply going to fold this up here, and you can see the fold from the top is aligned here with the fold in the fabric. And I just need to make sure that that's a little bit straighter, like so. And then I will simply mark it. And I'm just using these big old markers because that kind of works for me. And I'm kind of want to go along with this line, but I need to give it a little bit of extra seam allowance. I want to make it a little bit boxier on the sleeves as well. So I'm actually kind of giving it probably 3 centimeters here for seam allowance. And I'm also giving it 3 here. And then I'm going to go all the way down here because I want to make these big square sleeves that I then can add some elastics to. And then I'm not cutting anything up here because I just want to make this fold that's already there. I want to make that my shoulder seam. So I don't need to make a shoulder seam. That will just be the shoulder. And then up here, I'm just marking where this neck opening is. And I'm marking the back neck opening because I need to mark the front as well, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm just marking the back. Then I'm getting my amazing scissors out. And you can see here at the bottom, I'm just simply making them as long as possible. And then I'm cutting here. And if you give it some extra seam allowance, you can always take it away afterwards and make it smaller, make it more narrow if you want to do that. And here, that's actually quite some big pieces that can be used for something else. So I'm saving these, of course, because I've just made them, so I don't want to throw them away. And then we've got the sleeves here. Yes, that's a nice cut there. So I can take this blouse away for now. Now I'm just cutting the neck opening like so. And as you can see here, if I fold this out, then this will be my shoulder seam. So this will be my back opening, this will be my front opening, or I can choose to turn it the other way around. So I can basically decide. So I think I'll decide that this is going to be my front opening, this is going to be my back. So that length here is going to be the same as before. But the front, I want to go a little bit deeper. So I'm just marking that there and then cutting. So I can't stitch it together like this because then I would be making something very weird. So I need to unfold it and then whoop-de-doo, turn it out like this. And now I think you can see what it is a little bit better. So here we've got one sleeve. And we've got the side down here. So that's simply what I'm going to do now. I'm going to stitch from the bottom here all along under the arms, up there and up towards the opening of the arm. And I'm going to do the same over on this side. And then we've actually got the top stitched together. So into the machine. And I'm going to do that on my serger as well. Just aligning the two ends. And you can put pins or clips in here as you go along, or you can just try to hold it along the way so you make sure that you don't pull in either the top or the bottom layer of the fabric. One side done. Doing the next. I'm starting from the sleeve this time, from the sleeve opening. It doesn't matter. And we get all the way down here to the bottom. Oops. so. Nice. And now you can always just try it on to see if you feel that the neck opening fits you, if you need to make it smaller, more narrow or something. And yeah, it's always really good to try it on top of a lot of other layers. That's great. Such a great feeling. Well, looks good. That was perfect. So now I'm going to use my serger, and if you don't have a serger, you can use your zigzag stitch as well. I just love my serger, so I'm using it as much as I can. So I'm going to do the bottom opening and the sleeve opening. That's simply just to make sure the edges don't fray. That was the bottom done. Doing the sleeve openings as well.
Quite mesmerizing when you look at it for a long time.
Yeah, you can kind of hypnotize yourself. That's why I love it so much. Good. That's everything done on the serger. I'm not doing the neck opening because I want to do something else with that. But I'm not turning it out to front yet, but in a moment. So the sewing machine for now, and I'm going to get some elastic. So that's the two very nice sleeve openings done. And now there's just the bottom one, and that is already quite cropped, so I don't want to make it like, I don't want to make this hemming too wide. I just want to make it very nice and tight. So as you can see, I'm just going to fold it up very, very close to the edge and just give it a nice thin little stitch here. And you can also iron that, press it first, or put pins in if you want to. Something that's too long, you can always give it like a wider hem, but this, when it's already quite short, you can just make it very, very short there. I really don't want to lose too much length on this. And cutting the threads. And that's the hemming done. So, last bit, that is the neck opening. And for that, I'm going to use this beautiful, beautiful bias tape, because it's quite thin and very soft, and it will just go very, very nicely with this pattern that's already very pretty. So normally I put the bias tape on from the front here. Sorry. Let me just put it right. I put it on from the front like this, and then I fold it in towards the back. But I'm just going to try today to actually do it from the back here, and then I'm folding it out towards the front instead. So as you can see here, we're going to stitch it in this fold line here. So we need to have this edge of the bias tape folded in towards the back, so that it's going to look nice when we put it in place. Cool. So popping it into the machine. Doing it from the back today instead of the normal way. Still stitching it down here in this fold. Being careful not to neither pull at the bias tape or pull this fabric, but just to try to place them gently on top of each other. We get over here, we're going to make a small little overlap. So and then you can see, then you can fold it down here and then stitch it in place, and then you have that nice bit of bias tape poking out, and then it looks like this from the back. And that's just because I normally do it from this way around, so I have this on the front, but today I just want to try to put it on from the back instead, so you have this bit on the front. So I'm folding it down here and making sure that all these raw edges, all this that isn't pretty, is hidden inside here. And then I'm simply going to stitch it right into very, very close to the edge of the bias tape. And that's where you have to be a little bit careful, because it can be a little bit difficult to get that perfect line there. But just go nice and slow, put some clips in, some pins in, if you need to make it easier. And then we get here to this part with the overlap where it isn't, yeah, it's a little bit harder to make that pretty. So I just need to fold this in a little bit. It is possible. And that's normally also why I do it from the back, because then you can't really see this not so pretty part. And all these raw edges, tuck them in. Let me just see, did I actually miss a little bit there? Sometimes you get quite close to the edge and then you're kind of afraid that you've gone away from it, but I still got it there. And that bit of thread. So, cutting off the threads. A beautiful neck opening, a beautiful top. I'm gonna try it on. So here we got the nice little top. The sleeves, they could have been longer when they have this elastic part in, so I always have some extra fabric I can use and put in if I want to do it. And the cropped top is actually okay. It'll be fine with a skirt or jeans, maybe not just leggings like I'm wearing now. But I really like this, made out of a lot of old tops, different remnants, stuff that didn't fit anymore. Now I've got this nice piece. So as you can see here, I've just made the sleeves longer, so I've just attached an extra bit of fabric, and that was very, very easy because I didn't actually make a completely new elastic tubing. I saved the old tubing, but just cut it off here in the middle and did it like that, put a new little piece in, this pink piece here, and yeah, that was very easy. Recommend doing that instead of removing the whole elastic tubing.